For my STEM project, I decided to focus on the career of a chocolatier. Now, what exactly does a chocolatier do? A chocolatier is a person who makes creative and artistic confections out of chocolate. These confections, or candies as they're more commonly known, can range anywhere from solid chocolate designs to truffles, chocolate-covered fruits, and incredible specialty items such as chocolate flower pots and even chocolate champagne bottles. While most people in the business enjoy the work, it takes a lot of hard work. They have to work with the chocolate with their hands or machines, and a lot of times, if the chocolatier is self-employed, they must do all the marketing and selling. Now, being a chocolatier isn't only about the incredible designs and good looks. A lot of focus needs to be spent in ensuring that the chocolate tastes great. Now, in order to do this, a chocolatier will spend lots of long hours experimenting in the kitchen to find the perfect techniques and subtleties involved in creating that mouth-watering piece of chocolate. There is actually quite a bit of science and technological skills needed here in order to run the machinery and understand the chemical changes that happen to chocolate. However, I will explain this in more detail when I discuss how science, technology, engineering, and mathematics relates to the job. Now, when examining the sculpting aspects of the job, the artwork involved is quite amazing. The designs are limited only to the imagination of the chocolatiers, who in some cases are so serious and proud about their designs that they enter world competitions where their chocolate art is judged. So what path does one need to take in order to become qualified enough to do this job? Well, since chocolatiers have to make elaborate displays of chocolates, people who want to work in this field have to have the artistic interest and skill in order to mold the confections into these designs. Most chocolatiers will actually begin their professions as a pastry chef or a confectionery chef in order for them to gain some experience. This experience is especially important for chocolatiers who don't want to start their own business but want to get employed. These chefs are actually highly skilled individuals that usually go to a culinary arts school. There are many culinary arts schools available nationally and even online, and these schools offer advanced degrees for those that want to pursue work as a chocolatier. Now, when one becomes a chocolatier, they need to master many techniques. Chocolate flavoring, texture, and design demands absolute precision. Once these techniques are mastered, a chocolatier will usually be hired by a chocolate company or may choose to open up their own line of chocolates. Now, for the chocolatiers who do work for the companies that manufacture chocolate, they may find ways of creating chocolate through automated processes and may work as developers for a line of chocolates for a larger company. Now, how could fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics possibly be involved with a job as a chocolatier? Well, first off, science is actually extremely prevalent in this job. Chocolate is a six-phase polymorphic crystal, meaning that when it's melted while the chocolatiers are making the chocolate, it can recrystallize six different ways, and each of these different ways offers different textures, durability of the chocolate, tastes, and much more. Chocolatiers must heat and cool chocolate in manners that create desirable crystallization patterns in a process known as tempering, which is what creates the chemical and physical changes in chocolate. If a chocolatier doesn't understand the science behind tempering, then the formation of the patterns that chocolatiers use could potentially form crumbly, cloudy chocolate with bad taste. If they do understand the process of tempering, however, then they could be able to create a piece of chocolate in which all of the skinny molecules stack in lines, which creates that amazing, shiny, and smooth texture that most people love. Chocolatiers also have to be very meticulous with their work, which is similar to how scientists would have to be when experimenting, because they can't let anything contaminate or alter the tempering process, as even a drop of water added could cause the chocolate to seize up and become sticky. Even when tempering is complete, chocolatiers still need to realize that the chocolate can be going through physical changes if the chocolate isn't stored properly, as over time the fats within can rise to the surface and create an unwanted gray color. Proper tempering and storage can avoid many disadvantages, and a solid understanding of the physics means that anybody using a tempering machine can get excellent results. Now, due to the fact that chocolatiers use a lot of machinery and tech, this is where we transition into the T part of the STEM model, which is technology. The technology involved is mainly the machinery that the chocolatiers use in order to be more efficient and successful with their jobs. Chocolate production is actually a highly sophisticated, computer-controlled process, with much of the new specialist machinery being produced to the design and specifications that chocolatiers help develop. Tempering machines are an example of this, as a chocolatier needs to understand how to use this complex machine in order to create and develop the perfect pieces of chocolate. Without technology like this, the job would be much harder and less precise. There is also new technology currently being developed daily for the sole purpose of creating chocolate. One device, known as the digital chocolatier, is a machine that builds chocolate layer by layer, from the bottom up. 4 tubes hold chocolate, and the chocolate tubes are heated for melting. For each layer, a motor positions the correct tube and a valve releases the contents of the tube. It almost operates like a chocolate 3D printer. Many people wouldn't expect engineering to be a major part of the job, but surprisingly, it is one of the most important parts. Engineering is behind the making of chocolate confections, keeping them fresh, counting them, assorting them, and much more. I will now demonstrate how engineers would work in the job field that chocolatiers work in by giving you some examples of the engineers who would work. There are process engineers who take products made in small batches in test conditions where they develop the means to produce it on a larger scale. There are also packaging engineers who develop delivery systems and design a package that will deliver the product in a fresh manner. There are computer engineers and electrical engineers who take part in developing control systems to monitor the production of candy bars. There are civil engineers who actually design the places that house these confectionery devices and the whole chocolatier systems. And there are mechanical engineers who design systems that take fragile food items like candy bars, place them in packaging, and move them around a processing plant at high rates of speed without damaging them. Mathematics is the final part of the STEM model that is used with the job of a chocolatier. Volumetric measurements are calculated to make sure that no packaging is wasted when shipping chocolate. Another use of math is when recipes need to be scaled up or down to the particular quantity or size of the chocolate that will be produced. This will either be a larger batch or a smaller batch. Since new recipes are frequently developed, the cost of these recipes are planned out. Chocolatiers look at how much each ingredient costs and then calculates the total cost of the recipe to determine if it is cost effective. Thank you all for listening.